to another episode of the Self-Development Tactics Podcast. Quite the late one. I hope the audio is fine, should be fine, should be good to go. Today we're doing a bit of experimenting in Houdini again. Out of efficiency reason, I might sound a bit shitty because I am a tiny bit ill. Next to myself, I'm having a bit of a of the Houdini website. It's actually really great in terms of resources. There is quite everything that you can look up and then just figure out. It is really, really, really amazing. I think this should be fine, I guess. Something like this should be kind of good. We are gonna start with a box. I think it is fine if I'm just having it there. Audio should be good at least, I hope. So let's do it like this. We're gonna start with a box, a rather simple one. Maybe make it with a few more, well, not 100, but a few more subdivisions. I'm actually not quite sure what I'm gonna do here, nor if it is gonna work. But we're gonna find out, and we're gonna see if it does or if it doesn't. Apparently, ISO offset does create, yes, a volume. Oh, and it also creates stuff like this. I didn't know about that. Another volume and a tetra mesh, but I'm willing to have a fork volume, and I'm gonna put it into here, I guess. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Let's see. Can I do VDB from volume? No, what was it? Volume. Feather, volume merge, volume mix, volume patch, volume ramp, rasterize, volume SDF. I'm just quickly gonna look. Convert volume. Convert volume. There we go. And you're still there. Amazing. So we're gonna see what it does, and it does absolutely nothing. Or we're doing this and we're just getting rid of the volume in general. Why ever this is not doing anything? Can I find like a reason why this is the case? Volume. Okay, I see. So this is another volume in general. So I'm having these two, and then we're having a look at it. Properties, constant, SDF. I think we're just gonna get rid of this one, and maybe we're gonna need the merge because we are doing another box. Another ISO offset, and we're gonna merge these two, and it's gonna be a fork. Yes, maybe it's even gonna be offsetted a bit, maybe smaller. No, a bit more. What is this doing? Okay, this is doing something. Construction tolerance, whatever. Let's see under volume. Yes, what we can do here: volume deform, volume feather, rasterize, attributes, sky, cloud light. That sounds actually really good. Lattice from volume, volume reduce, resample, resize, SDF, splice, surface trail, volume velocity. Maybe this is nice. I don't know. Velocity volume. Can I do this? And then see what's happening? Maybe, but apparently we can't, so let's do something else. Bake volume, cloud noise. Let's see what this is doing. Okay, cool. It's always also great to know that when there is a problem, you can still also use this little thing here. Invalid source. Cloud noise. Geometry has been converted to chords and triangles. Error could not find a reference grid. Really? Ray intersect metaballs. Does this make a difference actually? Volume sample. Does it now work? No, it doesn't. So we're gonna use another volume thing. I just want to have one thingy thing that just does something. I don't have to have like a big whatever. Normalize weight, ramp patch, volume rasterize hair could also be interesting. Let's maybe do this. I don't know what it does. I don't know what happens. Okay, it does this. That's super great. Thank you very much. What I'm having there now. Can they just, you know, mountain or something? Mountain? Doesn't this work with this shit? Well, it does work. Point primitive vertex. What is even a volume? You know, this would be actually incredibly useful to know, because I don't. Vector, float, no, vector. Vertex, because I don't think that we're having a few vertexes here. Maybe a detail. Maybe we're also not going to use volumes today. I'm having a bit of a feeling that we're just going to use a box and do something that I know. I think that this is a bit of a smarter idea, is it? Let's use this box and probably randomize a few things here. Attribute name active. This is the only thing that I know in terms of coding in here. And maybe can't I also use this one for that? Vector attribute group. What if I do this? What if I do this? Is this even the right one? Yes, apparently it is. So we're having yeah, it does work. That's nice to see. That's nice to see, and this is not nice to see. So we're having random pieces of this geometry get affected by this mountain attribute. So we could also just do it a bit less, a bit more. And as you can see, you know, some of them are just completely not affected, which can be quite the great effect, I would argue. I mean, something like this, it looks kind of cool, does it? Maybe even when it is just, you know, really, really, really overdone, might be kind of cool. I think we might also just, you know, use this. We might just use this and VDB from polygons. And let's see what this does. Looks interesting. It really does. VDB convert. Like the normal shit. And then we are having... Oh, this also creates volumes. Can't I also VDB from volume? Or from particles? Is this also surface? Would actually be really interesting to see if the box to ISO offset, if this does work here. And apparently it does not. Fog volume, ISO surface, SDF volume. What is SDF? SDF. Volume SDF. VDB active SDF? SDF intersect? Smooth SDF? Normalize SDF? Reshape SDF? What, you know, can this work? Maybe it's also because of this shit. Whatever this is. Operation will discard log changes. Okay. Cool. Okay, this does work. And this doesn't. What did I want to do now? From particles. No, maybe it was also due to me just having this to the wrong setting. Yes, it does work. Yes, it does work. So apparently it is in particle. So what the logical voxel size. Let's actually make them bigger. The logical thing that I'm thinking about now is point generate particle scatter sprite white water source, whatever this is. Let's maybe just have a source, a force, not a source, radial force, directional force. Okay, does this even change anything? No, it apparently does not. Also because we're having an info there, no metapause found in the source, so therefore it is not a valid source. I think we can do this, and it should do something then, I guess, because it is a metaball, but apparently it's not. And now, can I do something now? Fog SDF volume. This is really interesting to me. But apparently if I'm having, these are just different modes. I see. Isosurface, fog, tetra mesh. Fog volume, but okay. These are just some ways in which, isn't there something like winding number? I did know about something, wasn't it pop? Yes. A pop network. Input. And then I can do stuff in here. But yeah, let's not get into that, I think. Let's go back to the mountain. The whatever mountain. Polygons. I, by the way, don't know what the difference between polygon and polygon soup is, but we do need a bit more of these because it actually really looks kind of cool. It might be something, might also not be anything, but the cool thing now is that we could decrease that a little tiny bit and have it like this and loop that for a certain amount, and let's make loop for loops with feedback. Was it this one? I think it was. So the first one needs to be in there and the other one behind there. Iterations, we're gonna have 1. Is this the same? No. We're gonna have 1 iteration. Let's see if actually everything breaks, which can happen. Because what it is doing now is following the same step multiple times over and over again based on the previous one. So we're always getting this. But maybe I also have to take it a step back, but I don't know by count. It's always adding onto whatever we're having. So maybe I also need to even go down a bit. I mean, it looks great. It's nothing really tremendous or something, but it has something. It has some sort of quality, I think. Maybe also subtract does it some good. Element size. Maybe, do they need to be smaller? Okay. I mean, it's just getting bigger. Might also be the case that I am not doing this correctly. That it should actually not go through that one, but underneath that one. I'm never quite sure. I've just, you know, seen one tutorial on that. So bear with me, I guess. What I could also do is maybe this is also the thing, because it is still just, you know, doing this one thing. Let's cut this one again and do that. Cut this one again, so getting it out completely. And maybe we are having to do this, and I hope this is not gonna break, and do that. And now it is calculating a bit, and it's doing it 6 times apparently. Yes, because it does create something, and it looks kind of interesting. Could be a sponge, could be whatever. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. Maybe just it needs a tiny amount of iterations. Maybe it's also because of the mountain thing being quite small. And now we wait. Amazingly. It's probably a bit too heavy, yeah, because now I'm seeing things lagging. I hope that you're hearing me quite fine though, and that this is at least good. Maybe we're just gonna resort to not using any loops anymore, because it might not be doing any good to it. I think that we are canceling. I think that we are gonna cancel that one and maybe not have 3 but 2. Okay, this is 1. What if we're having 2? Just, you know, letting this one go through the whole process again. But wouldn't then things have to start with... No, it is a polygon, so yeah. So it should be fine, and it is also fine. It just looks kinda like a ball. And balls tend not to be quite the interesting thing. So what could we do about that? What could we do about this becoming a ball? Maybe it's about the box. Maybe it is about the box. What if we're doing this? Most often I just find myself experimenting with some things, and then sometimes there is something cool and sometimes there isn't. Very often there isn't, to really be honest. And let's see what we're having here. Yes, it does have a different form now. We also could just go back to this and maybe even reduce the or, you know, basically increase the okay, this is what we're having now? Really? Is this really the case? If I'm... Okay, I do have a slight feeling that it might not be working in the way that I think it should be. So when I'm decreasing, at least not in terms of, you know, me viewing the thing, shouldn't this... Okay, this does that. Because I see the view of having already done one of them. So I might actually also add a twist there. A twist. There we go. 90 degrees. And since it is underneath that one, it should be fine, I at least hope. What does the box look like? Maybe it should also kind of be rotated. like this. I don't know, maybe this is cool. Maybe there's something. I mean, it has some interesting shape. Maybe it's also because of this. Maybe it is because of that. That looks better. Whatever this is. Whatever this is creating. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's also the element size, but I should not change too much of that. But this is actually also quite interesting. Maybe it's also about... okay, I see. I think I see. I mean, yeah, might be positive. No? Maybe also subtracting was the right thing. Adding, what is set? Set looks to be quite the interesting thing. I'm really hoping that the twist is giving it the right, twist. Add. Maybe it's also fast. Fast always is a good thing. And I think really big elements, because there is gonna inevitably be some smaller ones. What if we're turning this 1 to 0 for a second? Can I then see the original one? This would be interesting to know. Maybe we're also having to do it like this. Maybe this makes sense. I think it does. Maybe we also increase decreasing it by a bit. Let's see what this is even doing. I mean, this could become interesting. This could indeed become interesting. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it is doing. And it is starting to lag again. And then we're seeing that. But we have already seen that. So have I made a mistake? So I'm just rotating it. I'm just rotating it now, so... Or should everything start with there? From the twist? Nah, would be boring. So I guess we are gonna do that. And hope that nothing is breaking. And dying. And it's doing something. It is doing something, and hopefully it's doing something great. I don't know yet. I'm hoping. I really am hoping. And then maybe we're also gonna reduce the polygon then. It's definitely not as interesting as I thought it would be. I thought that, shapes are gonna be just all over the place and whatever. Also because this random mising thing, it is, I mean, it should be cooler, should be more interesting, should be more random, I guess. But I'm having a bit of a feeling that it's really not gonna turn out that great. And it's gonna take a shit ton of time. Even though we already are in pass 2 of 3. So maybe increments start value, default block path. I mean, there are so many cool things that you can do in Houdini, but the learning curve is just such, especially when you're not resorting to a lot of tutorials that I'm not doing. But it takes a bit too much time, to be honest. I don't like it. I mean, I could stop it. But, why would I do it if I'm just, stopping it again then? It's always like this. How long are you willing to wait? In the meantime, I could go through what I can do with whatever. Create geometry. Edit geometry. That's actually really, really a lot of things. A lot of interesting resources. Well, it's a bit too boring there. Let's go back to those 2 iterations and wait for those 2, because I think those 2 were already interesting enough, and then I'm probably also gonna leave it. It's done. Okay, it's the same one as before, but I think it is rotated in the middle of it. So it definitely has some interestingness. Definitely not want to be like, whatever. But I think it's definitely an algorithm that is, building in certain ways, and yeah. So, but the whole loop thing can be pretty interesting. I mean, of course, you can also build it by hand. Might be easier in the beginning and whatever. But I think that I'm gonna indeed probably reduce this thing. Or am I gonna do that? I don't know how long it takes to analyze that, but I also think that it is really, really, really big. So it might not work in any other software that I'm using then, but no, it's analyzing it.